3, 2, 1.
What's up?
Hey, we're back for another show. Good to see you, Richard.
Good to see you, Austin. It is Friday.
You are in a new location, my friend, with a beautiful backdrop, mind you.
Very real, very boardwalk, very river. 3 guesses where I am.
I don't know if I can actually guess. I was just making it up as I go because I know.
Because you know.
Isn't one of those houses the Tiger Woods house?
Is it? I don't know. I mean,
let's ask. Can we pull in the expert?
Yeah, sure can.
Is one of those houses the Tiger Woods house?
Not that I'm aware of. However, my knowledge of North Augusta is not as expansive as my knowledge of Augusta. So, could be.
Wait, Richard, you're in Augusta?
I sure am.
Man, it looks beautiful there. I had it to a fade, but it did not fade. Oh well. Richard, let's do a quick intro of Lexi. I mean, we brought her up as our expert panelist.
Yeah. I mean, let's do a quick intro of Lexi. Lexi, tell us who you are, what you do.
Hi, I'm Lexi. I'm an ecosystem builder at the Clubhouse. In addition to that, I do marketing and communications for Make Startups here in Augusta.
Ooh, do we want to hit her with
What?
Don't hit her,
question?
Richard.
Damn it. Yeah, we can't do that anymore.
Richard, I will never be a guest again.
Okay. But there's the thing that says the question.
Wait, like the question? You're just gonna start the episode like that? Just like
I mean, she
hit
did
her with
introduce
it from the
herself.
get-go?
She did introduce herself as an ecosystem builder.
Wait, Lexi, what does ecosystem builder mean? Oh, there's Richard's water going.
I'm sorry. I mean, essentially, as I've learned what it is and gotten into this space, it's cultivating community through events, entrepreneurship, and helping accelerate our region.
I like that. Cultivating community and accelerating.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
Yeah.
I like it too.
We locally run a co-working space and incubator where we are also hosting an accelerator right now. They actually have demo day next month. So we're working on that. But in addition to that, we do community events and things of that nature here.
What is your
Go ahead.
what is your favorite thing about the work that you do?
I would say the different founders I get to meet. That is one of my favorite things, like learning from their experiences and how they got to this point in where they got the idea and watching like their resilience and them grind and them build out something. I would say definitely the founders I meet.
Cool. With that, new headline.
I
mean, it's true. It is true.
We're gonna end up with silly ones all throughout. It'll be fine.
Fair enough.
These will change throughout the show.
Yeah.
We got some viewers here on YouTube. Let us know where you're joining it from, and if you have a question for Lexi, drop it in the chat. Lexi, so cultivating community, and you had mentioned kind of this North Augusta, and then I know behind Richard there's South Carolina, which I guess that would be what north. I don't know my map.
It's North
my
Augusta.
compass.
It's a
thank you.
little unnecessarily complicated. So Augusta is in Georgia. North Augusta is in South Carolina. But the broader region is the CSRA, so the Central Savannah River area.
So that
Is
would
that
be
a
like
widely known term? Do people here call it CSRA?
Yes. It expands across the river in the 2 states from, I believe, Evans, Grovetown. It goes to Thompson, I want to say, to the South Carolina side in Aiken.
Cool.
Yeah. And so it is interesting being separated by a river, but still being connected. And so that was one of the things, I'll say last year, we started with Eric is no boundaries. So building beyond those boundaries. And it's a big pitch competition we did in collaboration with Western South Carolina Economic Development, SCRA, and the Aiken Chamber of Commerce.
Yeah, I'm looking up some like statistics and numbers for CSRA. Unofficial trading and marketing region in the U.S. states of Georgia and South Carolina, 13 counties. The term was coined in 1950 by C.C. McCollum, the winner of a $250 contest held by the Augusta Chronicle to generate the best name for the area. Interesting. Today, the initialism
$250
in 1950. What does that translate to? To today,
I don't know.
we find out as I keep reading.
Yep.
Today, the initialism is so commonly used that the full name is not known to all CSRA residents. They just call it CSRA. Interesting. Located on and named after the Savannah River, which forms the border, which is that river right there, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Larger cities, Augusta, Georgia, and Aiken, South Carolina, which I learned is a big horse town. That's where all the horses come to hang out during the winter.
Big on equestrians.
Yep.
Really?
And the total population is 767,000. So just 750,000.
Yep.
I did not know about equestrian there. I mean, being from Kentucky, I don't know. I did not expect that for Augusta. Like in my head, it was like Augusta golf.
Augusta golf, Aiken equestrian.
Yes.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So
Yes.
I hear that's where all the horses come for the winter to hang out because it's warm. But also, it is not the so. What do we think the horse capital of the world is?
Shelbyville. Well, that's Saddlebred, capital of the world. And the horse capital?
Yeah.
I lack knowledge on horses, so I fear I can't.
I mean, I'm just going to pull the Kentucky card because it feels right.
I mean, Kentucky is what would come to mind.
Right, because you got the Kentucky Derby, right? Kentucky, Louisville. I learned that at Summit, Women's Cup Fast Track Summit, that Ocala, Florida, they claim horse capital of the world. So I just Googled horse capital of the world. And it is officially and legally claimed by Ocala, Florida.
Florida is not a place I would have thought.
Yeah, those organizers were very proud of being the horse capital of the world.
And Shelby County, where I'm from, is the saddlebred capital of the world.
Saddlebred.
Saddlebred.
Saddlebred. What does that mean?
All right. You ready for the number of what $250? It's actually
Can we guess?
Yeah. Well, Price is Right style.
Lex, go first.
I don't want to go first. I have to think on this.
250 and 1950. Fine, I'll go first. I will assign that. Here's my things that I kind of know. 1900 to 1920. Call back to the co-working space I work out of in Troy, the Troy Innovation Garage. Used to sell Buffalo-made Pierce Arrow cars. 1900 to 1920. They sold for about $6,000, which were the luxury cars of that period, comparable to a kind of high-end car today. And I think I did that research, and in something like 1913, $6,500, I seem to remember, was something like 75. And so extrapolating very poorly in my non-mental math, 250 and 1950 maybe will get us like $25,000.
Okay. Lexi?
I was going to go 1,500 based on vibes alone.
Okay. Eric, welcome to the show.
Well, hello.
Fun time.
We are money talk. So what's the name of the area, Lexi?
CSRA?
Yes,
CSRA.
Thank you. CSRA. So CSRA, that name was coined for the large amount of $250 in 1950. So how much
There's
is
the
that in
contest, yeah.
today's dollars?
Ooh.
I actually want to revise down,
Too
Austin.
low.
I want to revise down because my math is wrong. I would
I'm
say
just
I
gonna
want to go down.
guess $15,000.
Okay.
Yeah,
Richard?
I was gonna go down to 10. I had 25. I'm going down to 10 because my math was wrong. Lexi, what do you have?
250. I'm gonna go 3 grand.
3,000. I got 10.
Alright.
I'm gonna
Eric's
double
got
my
15.
initial.
Yeah,
Hmm?
you did double.
What year was it again?
1950.
1950.
50. Okay, so you could buy a house for like 10 grand then, right?
Yeah, you were around, right?
Oh my gosh.
We're
I
gonna
hope
get
you
hired.
enjoy those cold
Get
winters
hired.
in New York, Richard.
What?
I hope you enjoy those cold winters in New York.
Oh, Austin, I'm coming to
Just
Louisville.
yeah, I don't. Oh,
Also, how
Two
does everyone have
punches.
so much knowledge of the value of money back in yesteryear?
all right. Y'all ready for this?
Yes.
It
Drum roll,
was.
please. Drum roll, please.
Where's the drum roll? Do we have a drum roll? Yeah, there we go. Lexi with
where's
the
the-
win.
What was it?
$3,463.
Wow.
I felt stupid with the initial guess because I was like, no, I'm way undershooting it. So I was like, screw it, I'll double it.
Well done. You
Okay.
got the win there.
But then
Paige is yelling at me.
what-
I don't know why I'm getting yelled at. Paige
what's
says
something
no.
that you should have invested in that same year?
Bitcoin.
I'm like, would that have been a good year to invest in Ford, or was it too late by then?
Ah.
I'm invested
Austin.
in Ford currently solely for the dividends.
Ford.
All right. Ford was still a private corporation in 1950.
Huh.
So, Eric, good to see you on the show. Great to have you. Why don't you do a quick intro, who you are, what you do, for our
Sure.
audience.
I'm Eric, and I'm with Make Startups. And what do I do? Well, this is the Ecosystem Builders show. So the obvious part is I ecosystem build, but I spend a lot of time actually telling people that I don't ecosystem build anymore because I kind of, I don't know. That part's really hard. So what do I really do? How would I explain it? I try to maintain my own sanity while helping other people manifest whatever reality they're trying to create. How's that?
Really
I
quick,
like that.
you have entirely too much power with being able to change people's titles. I don't know if you saw it changed like 4 times.
I help people manifest. I used to
Okay,
just say I push people off of cliffs. So
I don't know if we can
don't
say
say that.
that on air. This is evidence.
it's too late. I already did it.
Allegedly.
Thank you, Lexi, for always keeping Eric safe and in line.
Did I
Eric,
HR?
the other answer we expected was that you make startups.
Well, that's how I expect people to manifest, their dreams.
Got it.
Yeah. A startup is a lot like a cliff.
Lexi, why don't you tell us about what's behind you? Because I feel like that's related.
So, Eric, you could explain it better to the people.
But you're the one that was asked.
Now this is just rude. You had once explained it to me as the life cycle of a business or a startup.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's the cliff.
It was made by Lexi's predecessor at the clubhouse, who is now an art instructor. But it was very much meant to define the journey of anybody who has a vision or a dream about something, and the path of their excitement towards that, and then reality, having everything fall apart, and then coming back on the other side And the point the artist would make, and his name is Chase Lanier, is that if you pay attention at the other side, once you finally go through all of that, it's actually higher than it was when you were really excited.
Yeah, I like that. I do feel like in the age or era of AI, like this also tends to map well to the Dunning-Kruger effect, and how much of like the ride of startups can similarly be mapped to Dunning-Kruger effect of just like, all right, like high enthusiasm and then the drop and then like you come back up. Very, very similar curve, if you will. But then you apply that to the AI era where it's like, well, that curve happens literally every day, every week as the next thing comes out. And it's like, I'm an expert. I'm burnt out. Oh, this could actually be helpful. So it's, I don't know. I've been diving more into Dunning-Kruger's like research in that line and imposter syndrome and all that.
You know, the one that's been resonating with me for the last month or so? It's Mike Tyson, that everyone has a plan until they get punched in the mouth.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
And I just feel like that's what startups are. Like what's interesting about AI is it doesn't do anything but help you create a plan so that you can get punched in the mouth faster and sooner. And so we just get punched in the mouth a lot more now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the event I went to last night, you know, one of the biggest topics was the burnout that is happening more and faster, and the cycle of burnouts that's happening with AI. And I think it comes back to what you just said, which is like we are getting punched in the mouth more and faster.
We still have teeth.
We do.
I didn't know this show was so depressing.
Oh, it's not.
I didn't know what I signed up for at all. It was just a calendar invite. And I said, okay. Richard was just like, you need to be here. And I said, okay.
Oops. Which is next to the banner that says the question.
Yeah. So, Eric, we asked this of every guest on the show. But how do you define what an ecosystem builder is or what ecosystem building is?
Oh, I thought I started with that to a certain extent. What do I think ecosystem building is? In practice, the way we sort of are operating within it, it's just another name for a community builder or organizer. I think that maybe an ecosystem, if I were to try to create some distinction between ecosystem builder and community builder, there's probably a more definable objective around where that community is going and what it's trying to do, as opposed to just getting along and having, you know, good vibes between people. So yeah, maybe it's mission oriented community building.
Yeah, I feel like it's a good question, right? What is community versus ecosystem? I think for me, when I think about it, community are like kind of the lateral one, like the connection to the next person and to the next person. But like ecosystem is like, okay, now what does the web start to look like? Where it's not just kind of the lateral connections of like, hey, Eric, here's someone like you, but here's the person that can help you, and here's the next person that you can help, and then here's kind of all the people around it. So it's more of the web effect rather than the linking arms effect.
Do you think builder is the right next term after ecosystem?
This has been a common question.
Oh no, we've had this discussion.
I like steward.
Me too.
You know, I really like that. Faye Horwitz definitely introduced me to that line of thinking. Richard, what's the term Anon uses?
Tender?
I think so.
Ecosystem tender is the term. I think at that point, it's semantics. It is the word that we choose to be 1% more right, which if we cannot all agree on what it is, negatively impacts the field because we're all trying to do the same thing or along the same lines of thing. And then we're just semantically discussing the term. Like we always go back to the example of a project manager and how that is the analog to the field of ecosystem building or tending or stewardship or whatever it is. And we compare it to where project management was in the 90s, where no one had a project manager. Now everyone has one. And everyone knows what a project manager is, but is that the correct term? Should it be project accelerator? Should it be project steward, right? Instead of a manager. And if that conversation was still happening, does that weaken the field of project management? Instead of everyone saying, this is project management, and us saying, this is ecosystem building or ecosystem stewarding. Just pick one.
Yeah, because I was like, I'll sort of try to frame like the things I struggle with around all of this. One is that a lot of how I got into this field, whatever we want to call it, is because my prior life was that I was an architect. And as an architect, to me, like, your ego becomes like really central to your practice and what you do, because you're trying to basically create some sort of artistic signature for the world that people will hire you for. Mm-hmm. And me entering this field was me actually stepping away from directly being that artist, because I felt that my ego was unhealthy for me. And so how could I help other people manifest things? And that freed me from it. And so one reason I push back around builder and I like steward is because builder puts me back in this central place that I don't want to be in. I really, I'm my worst self when I'm that central figure, and I don't want to be that person anymore. And then the other part of it, and this is something that I've observed a lot watching Lexi in her role as ecosystem builder at the clubhouse, and watching Richard in a couple of days here, making a trip out to Georgia, and all the work that they do, is that you hit a point when you're in this work for long enough where you become kind of cynical about a lot of the partnerships and a lot of the give first piece, because you're just tired of being broke as a result of doing the work. And I don't feel like I can be an effective ecosystem builder and be cynical. And so I look at my job now probably more in that stewardship capacity, because I'm trying to figure out, how do I solve the economic model so the next generation doesn't have to become a cynic?
Mm-hmm. And I thank you for that work and applaud you for that work, because I prefer not to be broke. I do strongly prefer. But Eric, the thing that I tell people that I don't think I've actually told you, Eric, face to face, is that there is one, and only one that I know of, job role, compensated title of ecosystem builder, and you created that, and Lexi holds that role in the country, in the world that I know of right now, that is literally ecosystem builder. And in doing that, you build the field and contribute to the field, because now there is a job title and a person and a role that is ecosystem builder that is paid with a full-time salary. So thanks for that.
Am I allowed to swear on this show?
It's our show,
Yes.
gosh darn it.
Holy shit. I don't think that's true, but either way, I've been happy to have the ability to do that. And honestly, like Lexi, you remember, like, we couldn't figure out what exactly is your role. And we're like, I guess you're an ecosystem builder.
We still don't fully know my role. Things change and constantly evolve, but yeah, I don't remember what I was doing. I think I was updating my resume because I like to, because I forget things because I'm a little ADD. And I was like, Eric, what? No, I was doing business cards. And I was like, what is my job title now?
What is
And he
my
goes,
title?
ecosystem builder? And I was like, okay, cool.
Well, and we had just gotten back from the Startup Champions Network Summit too, so it was sort of really fresh on our mind.
From
Very
Bay
nice.
Area.
Yeah.
That's where Lexi and I met. And that's where Eric, you and I got to know each other better.
That was my first summit.
Hi, welcome. You're an ecosystem builder.
Should change her title.
Okay. I'll do that.
You have entirely
Um,
too much fun with that.
Eric Parker, Make Startups Ecosystem Cynic. Lexi, Ecosystem Builder.
We
Eric-
trade up on who's the cynic by day.
That's why
I
you don't
think-
do the work alone.
Well, I think like there's a healthy element that is the cynic, but I think one thing you hit on, Eric, is like how do you not get stuck in the cynicism? And I think that's a conversation that Richard and I have had. Is like ecosystem building is hard, right? And you often do hit some element of cynicism but more likely, more often, burnout. And then that cynicism can carry, and it's like, well, what of the cynicism gets passed on intentionally, where it's like, no, don't work with this person, or that's not going to work. What gets passed on unintentionally, of just people being around and hearing and absorbing that, and what is the role of the new ecosystem stewards to fight the historic cynicism, coming in with kind of fresh perspective, fresh blood, fresh energy, if you will, and balancing that, and making that balance of like honoring the history and understanding how we got here with setting the new path forward, and how do you balance all that? And I'd be curious right now with where you're at and how you process stuff, what would you recommend to ecosystem steward or builder that's like, hey, I'm hearing this cynicism or history in my community, and I don't know what to carry forward because it is good advice to know and operate within my community, or what to challenge and move and create fresh.
Yeah. Well, I think that the commonality between anybody who's willing to put ecosystem builder as their title is that you really believe in the power of this work and what it can do. And so you're kind of willing to take it on the chin to a certain extent to make that happen. And I think as a steward, if we were going to start trying to formalize a distinction, you realize that you maybe can't do this forever, and that you need to begin to figure out what succession planning looks like. And in doing so, you want to be responsible so that this thing that you think is so beautiful and has so much potential for the world, that the next group of people doing it has better resources to do it than you did.
Richard,
I don't know. What does anyone else think?
I don't want to end the conversation, so Richard, I want to give you a chance to kind of react, share on that.
Will you ask the question again?
Well, I was just asking Eric, like,
I was, but I'm having like.
Actually, let me put it to Lexi. What do you think?
Oh gosh.
I was
that
listening.
reaction in HD.
I told you I have a very expressive face. It's a problem. I'm working on it. Not very hard, but I'm working on it. Oh, that's just
Dang, Richard.
you are a cruel man. You know that.
Just gonna leave you up there. Keep talking.
Oh my.
Anyways.
God.
I don't know. The thing is like, even when you come into it with a fresh perspective and a fresh eyes, like you still develop a bit of that cynicism because behaviors don't necessarily change magically towards you, towards your organization, in your environment, just because you're a fresh face with new eyes. Like, those patterns typically continue. So you do develop a bit of cynicism yourself. You try to stay optimistic, and at least you're newer into it, so you can hold that hope and optimism longer.
Yeah.
But you still, have cynical feelings about things.
But
Like, that just comes with being human.
I mean, I thought when we had the Ideas Worth Championing talks that you did such an incredible job of articulating what we actually do in our field, that I was just like, honestly, I thought, cool, I've done my job and I can step away.
Love you too. Thanks.
That was such a good.
One of my things I said too is you just got to shake it off. Like, yeah, internally you can, have some jaded feelings and things too, but you just keep working and you just keep trying and you shake that shit off.
Lexi, just know that I send that talk to everyone, by the way. Such
You're
a
very
good talk.
sweet. Thank you. I need to continue clipping reels, but it feels entirely too narcissistic to like clip myself and make a caption about myself.
I literally was trying to find it so I could
it's on
share it
YouTube.
in
Make
the chat.
startups
On
on
YouTube.
YouTube. Yeah, just make startups on YouTube. Remember the conversation, which I hope you do because it was like an hour ago, in the car coming back. A little iffy. Coming back from coffee, Lexi, we had the conversation where I said, because I am new to this ecosystem this week, being here, I am able to approach it in such a way where I'm here to learn and here to meet people and here to be curious without previous biases or cynicism or anything like that, right? Which is a fresh perspective and an outside perspective, I think, that is beneficial to an ecosystem. When we bring in our friends and our colleagues from other places, we can approach it in a way in which everything is new and everything is wondrous and everything is fun and everything is, hi, I would love to meet you. And that's what I did at the summit in Macon. Megan.
I genuinely, it pains me physically every time you say macaron instead of make.
Austin, they tried to
Adapt
mess
and
me up.
assimilate, please.
They tried to mess me up intentionally because it is Macon, Georgia, and I was confused. It was Macon, Macon. I called it Macaron. So Eric goes Macon, Macon, and so I'm just confused, and I'm just wrong all the time. And I feel like they take pleasure in wanting me to say the wrong thing to the wrong person and getting weird looks. And so Macon was great.
Video.
Is it pecan or pecan?
We had this debate.
Or pecan.
We actually went to Stuckey's in Waynesboro, Georgia, and debated that with the person who was working there. You don't even know what Stuckey's is, but Stuckey's is an epic pecan
I say pecan.
shop and distribution center in rural Georgia.
Oh,
is that
Between
what
Augusta,
it's
it's between Augusta and Macon.
Yeah, did you see your gifts on your desk, Lexi?
I was wondering where those came from. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I walked over to my desk and I was like, okay, I don't know what's going on here.
Austin, the way you did that, I was like, is this episode sponsored by Spindrift?
No, it's not. But normally Richard does Waterloo. Is it Waterloo?
Polar is what we usually
Polar.
have.
Richard normally does a polar opening just like that, so I wanted to honor that with a competitor. Neither of them do sponsor of us.
We will take their money at any of these companies.
Red Bull, please sponsor me. But Richard, on what you were saying about, I do actually remember that car conversation. You make a good point there because for me, I'm new to this work, but I'm not new to this region. I've lived here since I was 6 months old. You know,
Mhm.
I left for 2 years to go to Athens for college, but then the pandemic and I came home and I finished college here. So I still
Greece?
have my opinions and biases on this place because I grew up here
Mhm.
and I know entirely too much.
Yeah.
So while I was like new to the work and like different facets of, you know, local things that I wasn't as in tune with, you know, just living here, I still have like my own feelings and things about this place versus like you are like shiny new world.
Literally, I'm not. I guess I am not new to the work, but I'm new to the place, and so I approach it and reach out to folks in a way that is using that "Hey, I'm new" card instead of having and not having any previous experience or biases or cynicism. Maybe that helps build bridges, and I go to everyone from a place of ignorance of their past uh, history or behaviors or things like that, where folks in a region, right here, or abstractly in general, may view an organization as a blocker or a gatekeeper or someone that is not collaborative. I reach out to them and connect with them without knowing any of that, which may benefit the relationship and help build bridges, or it may not, but I don't have that previous uh, history and experience if I'm not told that. And I like that.
Additionally, social anxiety fears you. It's scared of you. So there's
I would
that
agree
as
with that.
well.
I did make
I
a
would
lot of
agree with
friends.
that.
I immediately
don't doubt
like
that.
made friends night one, joining every Facebook group in existence for the area. I mean, went to town.
This is not a trait that I am born with. I used to have so much introversion, social anxiety. This is a like muscle that is trained and exercised and learned, and so I was not born this way. I feel like that's a song.
I like to say I'm an extroverted introvert. Once I'm in a group, I'm a yapper. I'm not going to shut up until you tell me to. We're having fun, but when my social battery dies, it's dead. And I like
Yeah.
mentally prepare myself to go into social situations. I can't just pop into one.
Yeah.
It's part of the reason I will carry a camera to an event because nobody questions the camera guy in a corner.
That's when I
Like,
put
if
on
I
my
need-
social media content creator pants and I'm like, I need photos for the Instagram story.
I need to go recharge. And like I'm definitely with you of like I can be social, but
Mhm.
it runs out. I need to recharge, but I can recharge fairly quick.
Mhm.
But I just need a little bit. And so give me that emotional support camera, step away, and then we're
It's
back.
the world's easiest out.
This is sort of like what we were talking about yesterday in the car, because so we got in the car to go back from Macon to Augusta, and Richard just pulls up FaceTime and is just hanging out with Lexi and not really talking. And I kept saying like this it's like generationally is really weird to me, because as soon as video chat is there, I feel like I have to like perform that I'm on, that this demands my engagement. And I think that's also, it's interesting, like why Startup Champions Network is like my favorite place in the world. And I've realized this, that when I got into this work, I was just building a community and I was a part of that community. So I was myself just all the time. It was just me that was there. But eventually in doing this work, I began to feel like, oh, I'm the ecosystem builder. I'm the person that everybody's looking to for all this stuff. And so now I had to play this role in what I do day in and day out. And it began to drain me every single time I was there. And I feel like an outsider of this exact community that I'm building. And that's the same way I sort of like, I guess the sort of those feelings of performance and performativeness were coming up to me in the car ride. And so I was just like super exhausted and talking about this paradigm. But it's just like really going back to it, like Startup Champions Network has been this one place where even though, yeah, I'm on the board, I'm still just a member of the community. And I think that's like, at the end of the day, we all just need to have a community where we feel like we're a part of it. And I think that's what ecosystem builders, the way we describe it, do for founders and maybe other people that want to support founders, is you give everybody a place to belong, where they don't have to feel like they're putting on a show, whether it's for themselves or whatever. But I still don't understand why you guys can just like put each other on video and just hang out for hours without even really talking.
Well, it's like you got so deep and then just went back to hee hee ha ha.
You can take it either way you want.
With like most friendships and things, like for example, my best friend and I, if I need to clean my room, she will literally just come sit in my room. We don't speak. She's watching TikToks, I'm cleaning, but it's like having someone there is like a comforting presence. And like same with FaceTimes with Richard. Sometimes we'll just FaceTime each other while we both work and we don't say anything for like 30 minutes. And then we'll have like a 15-minute conversation and go back to pure silence.
Sometimes I forget you're there. Like on the car ride, I was like doing stuff and you were like hiding in the background and like not actively on screen on FaceTime. I just like forgot you were there. I was just like doing something, which is like weird to Eric.
For like half of that car ride, it said connection unstable because you were in, backwoods Georgia. So, or you and Eric were very robotic and like pixelated, and I'm just like, okay, all right, I'm just gonna do whatever I need to.
Well, I want to go back to something that Eric said, which is like being able to be like the local leader, but then connect with a community where you can be yourself again. And I have a question for him when he comes back. So I'm going to save dog ear this and come back to something that Richard said, since Richard is here. As you were talking earlier, it just made me think of like, for our entrepreneurs, like we give them support because we are an external being. We don't know the ins and outs. We're not necessarily, we often do over time get emotionally attached, but we have less emotions than the founder. And then same with like in community building, it's like, well, if you are in your community, you are emotionally attached. You've invested like literal blood, sweat, tears, hours, years of your life into it. So you're very attached. So when someone like Richard comes into your community with fresh perspective, like how valuable is that? And I think, again, tying what Richard said to what Eric said, like the value of an organization like SCN, where you can bring in ecosystem builders from other regions, or just have that sounding board to say, hey, here's what's going on. I just need some fresh perspective, outside perspective, with people that understand the work. Because a lot of times there may be folks locally that you want to bounce ideas off of, but they don't understand the work. And so having a community like SCN to tap into other ecosystem builders that get the work, but they are removed, to bounce those ideas and get feedback. I mean, I think the closest thing we have to like a coaching network, if you want to call it. And then Eric, I know you all have the fellowship, which in a way kind of is that.
Was that for me or Lexi? I think us having some sort of exchange program between ecosystems is vital to the field. I think what Richard was saying is exactly spot on, and I feel the same thing. I did this ecosystem tour with Grace where we drove to different ecosystems around the country and recorded, conversations with them, but we would also use it as an opportunity to help host a roundtable so they could bring their stakeholders together and we could just talk about their ecosystem. And there's something about human nature that the people in your community, they know you and you've said this thing and they're like, yeah, that's Austin. We get it, whatever. But they don't really get it. And then when I come in, then they're like, oh, well, Eric's the expert because he's not from our town. And and whether it's being the out of town expert or whether it's just, not being bogged down because, so-and-so is a pain in the butt over there. And, they blocked me from getting this grant or took it away from me or whatever. And, there's so much of that happens in the local community that there's two ways of looking at it, because I used to get so frustrated because like our economic developer, they would just bring in some consultant from outside of the community. I'm like, why are you doing, like, we're right here. We're literally right here. But I think when we get to the position where the ecosystem builders are bringing in the outsider instead of the third party, the public institution bringing it in to tell you what you're supposed to be doing, and you're bringing your friends in to tell the public institution, this is how you should work with this stuff. I think that's actually where we really do flip this paradigm and we make a lot of accelerated progress.
Mm-hmm. Which, I mean, is kind of core to the SCN Summit, right? It's like, yeah, like it is in a way the anti-conference conference where you do go and you do learn things, but a core part of it is you bring ecosystem builders from around the continent, I'll call it, to come into your community and connect with people within your community to pour into your challenges and kind of give that external perspective, and hang out and on rooftops and go on boat rides and all the other things we did in Augusta.
My lights went out and I'm just like, do I just stand up and try to deal with this or what?
That's been my concern the entire time
stretch.
I've been in the conference room. I'm just kind of like, hey,
Yeah.
I'm here.
Unfortunately, I have the big giant monitor right here. So let me just, hey, world. Doesn't work.
That's great.
Anyways,
Yeah.
Hey,
Hey, daughter.
So the question that I tabled until you got back, Eric, is this concept of the pirates.
Pirates.
And how as ecosystem builders and SCN, we are often, well, I'll just let you share kind of like your perspective on it. I know you wrote about this on LinkedIn and I really enjoyed that, and the conversation that got here over dim sum that Richard was just ordering things for us, and I was like, I don't know what it is, but sure, I'll try it.
very Richard.
It was a delicious dinner.
It was fantastic.
I did all right.
Yeah, you did great.
Good.
I think that we talk all the time about the ecosystem building part being the core job, and it's one of those things where it's sort of like our communities already exist, right? Like you've got rich people in town, you've got bankers in town, you've got universities, you've got economic developers, you've got city government, you've got workforce systems. All these things are already there. We didn't build them, right? We're building a community of founders, typically speaking, and maybe there's some other ways of looking at that, but my role is to understand those founders and to represent their interests and try to help make things happen. And so I don't think that I build the ecosystem. I think I commandeer that ecosystem that already exists for the interests of the founders that I represent. And in that, I ultimately reshape it in some way, right? But yeah, I think that there's this underlying sense of being pirates in what we do, that if you embrace it, then you say like, yeah, you know what, we don't have to follow the rules. We get to make our own rules, and like the world doesn't want us to necessarily succeed. We live in this construct of all these systems and everybody wants the status quo, and we're basically out here saying we want to support all the people who just don't want to fit into the system and want to make their own thing. And so that's why I don't think of it as ecosystem building as much as being pirates commandeering it.
I love it. We had so much fun with that. Go ahead, Richard.
Eric, you've got theme music going on. It's like
I know.
final boss battle theme music.
Respectfully, the Disney Yo Ho, It's Pirate's Life for me would have been a better choice, but
I'm trying not to get us canceled by YouTube. We
How
got
much copyright money
licensing.
you got?
That's what I was
Yeah.
curious about. I was
Disney
like,
does like
this
to
whole
sue.
episode just get dropped because we threw in some copyrighted music?
No, all of our music that we play is properly licensed, so we're good.
Yeah.
Awesome.
But YouTube would do something like that.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I know.
They'd mute us.
YouTube
They've done
is
it to
very
me numerous
finicky.
times.
Go ahead, Richard.
So,
You have a thought?
no, I don't have thoughts.
Still really have to fix this light. It's driving me nuts.
Fix it.
Look it up.
Change his name
I'm
again.
going to bother him the
There it is.
entirety of the time we were on this. I was going to bother him the entirety of the time we were on this. If we didn't tell him to just go fix it, because I know it's been bothering him since it went out.
There, he's back. He's back. He's done it.
Hello.
You feel better
Hello,
now?
welcome back. Are you a new
I
person?
feel so much better.
Mhm.
I feel like this bar in the window is blocking the river, so I'm gonna go river. It does exist.
Oh, there's the river.
There's alligators in there
Don't see any.
yet.
The question Austin had for Lexi was, is any of those Tiger Woods house Woods Tiger?
On the boat tour, they said, and Tiger Woods stays in this house every time for the Masters.
Doesn't mean it's his house. A big thing in Augusta is that a lot of people do. That's why our school's spring break is
Oh.
Masters Week.
Mhm.
So our spring break's always later than everybody else's. Is people will rent out their houses through companies to, whether it be depending on your house, golfers or patrons coming to the Masters. So in that case, yes.
Yeah,
not
we do that in Saratoga for the track. Like the summer, we'll get a big dollar amount rental to the folks that come to the track.
Like
It's,
the house I live in before we moved in, it used to be rented out to PGA Tour staffers, and my mom was like, I'm not finding somewhere where I can take our very large dogs for a week. Not worth it. And you have to make it look like you don't live there.
Yeah. Here, all the universities wrap up their spring semester before Kentucky Derby. So
Mhm.
our spring semesters are typically shorter than most universities, or they start earlier and sooner for that reason.
Yeah, no.
I would
My
be
entire childhood in college, when I came back to Augusta University, the first full week of April, that is spring break.
I feel like part of my life is side questing and collecting experiences. So I'd
Yes.
be interested in working like at the sandwich stand for the Masters or like at the Derby as a whatever.
My best friend Katie works in the pro shop at the National during the Masters every year.
Yeah, I would do something like that. That'd be
There's
fun.
kind of a high school pipeline to working at the Masters. Like they really promote that to the high school students
Yeah,
and college.
so that's fun.
I do have more questions, unless Richard, you want to dive into any topics?
No,
Well,
you if you have questions,
Are you also a
can
pirate?
ask questions.
Like,
Am I also a pirate?
yeah.
Yo
I would
ho
say
ho.
so. Yeah, I would say so. I think part of like, so you had mentioned, pirates in the commandeer. I think the other space is
Pirate.
like being the well done, being the group that gets their hands dirty to get it done at whatever cost. Now, I'm not saying that's healthy all the time, and that there is some sacrifice in the whatever cost part of being the pirates that are ecosystem building. But but at least having the mindset of like the commitment to do that for our community and for our founders specifically. And if a founder's having a hard time, all right, like show up to their office or where they're working, like, all right, let's open your computer, let's dive into the numbers, or like, all right, let's do this deep dive, or literally hitting the road with them or sales or whatever that looks like doing what it takes to get it done, to hopefully find the treasure chest and the big exits or whatever it may be. But I like that side of the analogy, is that it's going to get rough sometimes, it's going to get dirty. Roll up your sleeves, get it done. There is a treasure chest at the end. What's in it? I don't think any of us know. But I think the pursuit of that is part of the voyage. Did I hit enough?
What about you, Richard? What does ecosystem piracy mean to you?
I think we're giving Lexi agita. I learned that word recently, agita. Ecosystem piracy. Look, why do we have to be pirates? Why do we have to be the folks that like do the things? Why can't we just be part of the system in which we support entrepreneurs, right? And we are maybe not at a point where we are that yet, but is that not the goal, to be recognized universally as an important part of entrepreneurship support that goes beyond direct technical assistance to bring together the supporters to build a more cohesive system? And I think part of it is because we as a culture, society, world have not yet, and field have not yet gotten to that point where ecosystem building is as ubiquitous as economic development or entrepreneurship support program director. And so I hope to not be a pirate. I hope to be part of the system in which this is how we do the work. And that brings my thoughts to yesterday's Create Summit, in which I thought they did a fantastic job laying out what ecosystem building is. And so Austin, unless you know this, but Austin, part of what I did down here in Georgia was go with Eric to the Georgia Power Economic Development Create Summit in Macon, where upon first glance at the agenda and the description, it was let's get all the entrepreneurship supporters together and talk about building, entrepreneurship support things. But then they actually showed up on stage for the opening session and went, hey, this is ecosystem building. Let me tell you what it is as the opening session. If you all didn't know what it is, this is what it is. Now here's an assessment, assess your own ecosystem. And then we all had a shared language and vocabulary. And now all the entrepreneurship supporters, of which there were many chambers and development agencies and co-working spaces and ESOs and folks like that in the room, all now understand what ecosystem building is, which was really cool. I wrote a whole LinkedIn post about it. Why can we not just do that, right? And I love that we are just doing that in specific contexts like this summit where they just got it. Can we all just not get it universally?
I also thought that having 160 people just in one state there to talk about entrepreneurship and how to build it in our communities gives a real sense of the scale that we could be operating, because I think oftentimes we're like really happy because we got 100 people together on a national stage, and realistically, like this could be a 5,000 to 10,000 person summit when we really get the world to understand the value of what this work is.
Is there a way in which we can invite all the attendees to come to SCN, like at scale? Can they send something out and be like, hey, we talked about ecosystem building. Here's the next step. SCN is doing a summit. You can talk more about ecosystem building.
We can ask. I don't have the attendee list. I only have the vendor, not even vendor, the exhibitor list for it, which is a lot smaller. But yeah.
Yeah. I think, from the interactions I've had with the Georgia Power Economic Development folks, they're very supportive, right, of the work. And the comments they made and the post shares and stuff like that on LinkedIn, I wonder if there's a pathway where we just invite the whole state and we do that at scale, invite all the other states, wherever their analogs are, where these folks gather, which is sometimes utility economic development, or sometimes the statewide business incubator association, of which New York has one, and Quebec has one that our friend Felix runs, right? And or wherever they already gather and already have trust, and we just build those partnerships as SCN, and all of their members are invited to come and continue the work, continue talking about the work.
I mean, I think because we have 13 people on the board at Startup Champions Network, so we have a pretty sizable board now. I think it's up to each of us in the places where we are to try to do a deeper recruitment of getting people to engage, and then hopefully the next generation of 13 board members will add their states, and then we get to a point after a few rounds, a few terms for people that were there. I think right now we all are really struggling with the fact that most of the people that I know that do this work are working full-time plus to build an ecosystem, probably still working part-time to make some extra money so they can afford to ecosystem build, and then working a few more hours to volunteer to help build the national organizational structure to make it work. So I'm always cognizant of the bandwidth challenges for people within this.
So the $1 trillion question, Eric, is how do we fund ecosystem building? So ecosystem builders who self-select and choose to do this work can be fully compensated to do this work, like any job field.
Yeah, we have to measure what we do better than the way we've done it so far. I mean, honestly, Richard, that like most of what we've talked about since you've been here is there's tons of money to do this work. We always talk about the venture capital side. There's, depending on the year, $250 billion to maybe $400 billion that gets invested into companies in venture capital. And we think that's a lot, but that's only 0.5% of the companies. But then the commercial lending market is $9 trillion, right? And they don't really even lend to startups because for the most part, they're looking at businesses that are at least 2 years old.
Bankable,
so everything that we've been doing has been, how do you measure startups effectively when they are forming so that you can enter them into that banking process? Because if we can prove that the work that Ecosystem Builders does makes entrepreneurs bankable before that 2-year mark, then all of a sudden we open up the doors to a $9 trillion industry. And obviously that's enough money to fund the work that we all do.
Yes. How do you do that?
Well, we as a field have to agree on the ways in which we measure some of these things. We've taken the approach that we look at it as credentials, right? So a credential turns into this way of standardizing that we verified XYZ is complete. It's just like your driver's license. Good, you passed the exam, you passed a driving test, you have a driver's license, or you got a college degree, or you verified that it's you because you entered your username and password and your 2-factor authentication to get into your Google account. So credentials can mean anything. And so I just say that because we bore people a lot of times by saying like, hey, we create credentials for startups. But as an ecosystem builder, what you're doing in your community is you're building social capital with all of the people that exist within your community, so that when you, Richard, make an introduction for a founder to a bank or to an investor, they say, okay, well, this is someone that Richard sent me, so I'm gonna put some trust in that. And all we do is say, Richard, if you have someone with a credential from that work, that when you send somebody, you're basically saying they have done X, Y, and Z. And then if I, Eric, also use the same X, Y, and Z, and Austin uses the same X, Y, and Z, then the underlying concept of how we are measuring them becomes sort of an industry standard for everybody that makes it easier for capital to be deployed to the founders. It makes it easier for the financial industry to understand that what we're doing actually makes a difference so that they can bank people sooner. There's so much chat happening in the studio.
I'm sorry for my face. I was multitasking and responding to an email. Eric likes to forward tasks to me.
I don't know. It might be your job.
So similarly, like one thing I've been learning is just like the amount of regulation also that is in place for different types of banks and financial institutions as it relates to their ability to fund startups and tap into even like there's a founder in town that's working on a project that's like, well, what if CDFIs could access into like Bitcoin and that whole network? It's like, well, they have their own limitations, and so you have to build a standard for that. And I bring that up to say, in financial, the amount of standards, or you have to bring it to this level or this, to use your term, credential, across the entire process. Like it is just a very, not just regulated, but like the amount of process that they have within financial institutions. And so how can we not only be the advocates for these startups as we hear ongoing challenges over time and those thematic challenges and break down those barriers, but how can we also work to provide the credentials and the documentation process that industry needs to make funding more accessible?
So I would say that there is a secret magic word that all of us can use anytime to unlock any door to do whatever it is that we want. And that magic word is called pilot.
Say it again.
Pilot. Can you agree to do a pilot program in 1 to 5 communities where you grant us money, we will do this activity and we will measure it and see how that results? And if you set the expectations around the pilot correctly, you're not there to guarantee outcomes to the world that, hey, we solved predictive modeling of startups. You're there to say, we're going to learn some things together. We're going to review data with you, and then we can go back and figure out what is the next stage. And maybe we do, V2. Maybe they feel confident enough in it that they're bringing in additional financial institution partners. Maybe that's enough to convince a government partner to release some public dollars to go along with it. But using the word pilot around what we do has absolutely been the magic word that makes it possible to do all sorts of crazy experimental stuff that people didn't think that you could get approval for.
Whoa. Whoa.
I think that was wow. I'm clicking the button that says wow.
Whoa.
So
Yeah.
wow.
It's giving whoa, not wow.
Yeah.
So if anyone wants to partner with Make Startups and do a pilot, reach out.
What
well-
might a pilot with Make Startups in this context look like, Eric? Damn, I said the word again.
I'm going to have a hard time maintaining my train of thought with this.
Well, at least lower the volume for you.
So
you can hear
we do, because one of the reasons we sort of reframed Make Startups as a research institute is that it gives us the ability to partner with academic institutions as well as entrepreneur support organizations and capital providers to just say, we have a thesis around this thing. Would you like to provide funding for that so that we can then extend that funding to all of our program partners to implement it? And so like we are actively in this stage where anyone who's in the field of entrepreneurship that has a PhD after their name, we're saying, what is it that you're curious about researching? And we try to figure out, can we formulate a valid thesis around what that is and then propose a pilot to whether it's local partners in your community where we come in as the outside entity, or whether it's us looking at larger national scale partners that might come in because we can stitch a handful of communities together. That's really how we look at it.
And so like maybe that's like your approach, but how do you define Make Startups, or what is Make Startups, or just like kind of zoom out a second and also like how are you doing this? Like, do you have your own measuring platform? Like what is, if research is what's being done and the entry point, what's behind that?
Yeah. So the easiest way for me to explain Make Startups today is that we're an applied research lab focused on entrepreneurship and access to capital. And so our objective is to figure out what are the most effective methods that lead to the best outcomes for founders. And one of the ways we got to this place is because we were really hyper focused on solving how entrepreneur support programs qualify for workforce development funds. And the underlying requirement in there that needed to be addressed is that there was no industry recognized credential in entrepreneurial skills training across the country. And we went about the process of how do you begin to even think about classifying entrepreneurship as an industry, because it's not really thought of the same way as aviation or manufacturing or something like that. And we looked at the finance industry itself as being the primary funder of entrepreneurs, which in a way makes them quasi-employers of entrepreneurs because they give money. Entrepreneurs then make money so that they can pay that back and pay themselves. But by taking that approach, we got a couple dozen financial institutions to agree to, a series of learning objectives that we could measure and say, that means if an entrepreneur can demonstrate that they effectively understand these concepts and they're applying them into their business, we think that might make them bankable enough at this stage where we would give them consideration for capital. Not access yet, but at least consideration. And so that's how we've operated, is really helping communities verify that their entrepreneurs are at a readiness level for that. And so again, Research Institute exists so that we can measure these things effectively, so that an industry recognized credential can exist. And we built a software platform that's called Co-Founder OS that helps us measure at scale so that we understand a lot of the deep things happening underneath the hood for founders as you're doing the work. And that, it's like most of the time when we're running programs, we're measuring all the different things that we do. We spent this many hours with people, we taught these things, they showed up, great attendance, they graduated. But then what are we doing for like the next 2 years to measure whether that resulted in anything? And most of the time as ecosystem builders, as ESOs, we're in the space where we're just having to reach back out to them. We email them, we call them, we do surveys, and we do our best to get results. And those results might vary from organization to organization, but typically speaking, it's around 5 to 10% of founders end up responding in the data that you need so that you can track that. And so we built the tooling so that while they're in the program, we're doing all the API links that we need to so that we can automate that tracking so that you have at least closer to 100% longitudinal tracking rate, so that you know if your program is actually delivering the outcomes that you aspire for it to, and we can verify those to your funders and then ultimately to financial institutions and things like that. That was probably way more answer. And I
no, it's super helpful. I mean, I like obviously at Augusta SCN Summit, I got to see a little bit of the platform. Giving you feedback, like I think your pitch that you gave today is even more like just honed in and clear of what Make Startups is doing nowadays. Like I'm like, oh yeah, that makes total sense.
Well,
and I know that's
after spending a couple of days with Richard, and finally he was just like, what is it that you do really well? And I was like, we measure.
Yeah. I was like, what are you good at? This was like 11:39 p.m. because my bedtime is 12 midnight. I was like, Eric, what are you good at? And Eric, you said,
measurement.
And I said, well, you're a measurement company.
Yeah. So Richard's trying to convince me to rebrand the entire thing as measurement as a service.
Yeah, it's not right. It's not a platform. It's not a SaaS competitor to any LMS. It is a partner to everyone who is supporting entrepreneurs so that Make Startups can help them measure everything around it. Because, and I've said this in the past, right? One of the greatest human inventions is the concept of make number go up. And you can't make number go up if you don't have number. So Make Startups make number. And a measure number and then make number go up.
Yeah, and from my seat, like I run into, because I guess we're all in sort of like wallet share competition for economic developers and entrepreneur support organizations. But I think what we do and what EcoMap does and what EIC does and what SourceLink does and what Hub does, and forget there's like another dozen or so platforms out there. I think that we do something that's really different from them that is complementary. And everything I do my absolute best to not be in competition with the world. All I want to do is collaborate with the world, and I'm just trying to figure out how do I solve this like one little problem somewhere, so that I can work with more people and help more people. And I think that my late night session with Richard of trying to hone in on measurement, maybe that's the watershed moment that helps us better partner with more organizations, because we're just trying to understand the data so that we can open up resources for everybody.
Well, and
Eric?
I think,
sorry, let's pilot it.
Oh,
sorry, go on, Austin.
I was just going to say, so like the thing about measurement is every measurement is exponentially better with every measurement that's added. So like, you measure a community, well, then the next community you measure, now you're starting to build aggregate data to start to identify trends that can better inform all stakeholders within the industry. And so like over time, like as Make Startups becomes, the measurement platform of ecosystem building, like you will have enough data to say, hey, like we are seeing these trends. Hey, industry, like here's where we need to focus, or here's commonalities that help or hurt the way we serve. And I think that's even more valuable is like over time, like it right. increases. Like I do ecosystem building, but as you mentioned, I have another job that pays for my mortgage, and that is an agency. And one of our clients does marketing measurement. But over time, they've measured over $48 billion of media spend. So they can like very accurately, I think like their percentage error right now is like 3 to 4% max. Say if you spend your dollars in these platforms and these amounts on these days, then we can increase your revenue by 25%. It's like, well, what would that do for the industry? It's like, we could increase your funding by 25% if you do these things because we have the data that says it. Like, measurement grows the more data you have. It gets more accurate. It uncovers more things. And so, like, this could be really powerful for the industry the more that you're able to measure and uncover those insights, but also you're going to get better at measuring and uncover like how to do that better, which then you tell us all your secrets and your magic words and your, you know, like, and then we all get better because of it. Right. And that's how you, like, I think that's one thing I've really admired and getting to know you is like your willingness to just help and share and not hold back and be authentic. And I think like, just keep doing that, man.
As long as I can afford to, I will continue to do so. As long as the next generation will continue to step in. Because so here's the other like big like challenge of life and ecosystem building and transitioning from builder to steward is that I am now, and we talked about this when you all were in Augusta for the summit. I'm in this stage where I am a local ecosystem builder. We're all here in Augusta, and we're trying to support the founders.
I'm not, but yes,
spiritually.
Yes.
And at the same time, we're trying to do this work to help ecosystem builders around the country. And it creates an enormous tension and conflict internally for us as an organization and trying to manage that and communicate effectively to stakeholders. And so I don't know exactly if there's a point other than like I think there's a tendency within ecosystem building and honestly within all business of like, hey, I'm kind of doing this thing in this local area and it's kind of working and it's kind of hard. So maybe the next thing I need to do is scale. And then it's like when you scale, it introduces this whole other round of challenges that can exist. And it's like we're really running two completely separate companies now. One that ecosystem builds at a national level and one that ecosystem builds at a local level.
How do you balance that? I mean, amidst all the things that you're doing.
Lexi.
I see Lexi's face. This is a Lexi question.
Lexi's tired.
Because
tell us more.
She's balancing.
I mean, it's just you kind of got to fire on all cylinders at all times. We're a tiny team. We do a lot of stuff. I love what we do, so we keep chugging. That's really all I got for you. It's 4:45 on a Friday.
Well, but there was also because I mean, Lexi, you even had the transition where I think when you started with us, you were really looking more at the Make Startups National stuff that we were doing. And then you went into I'm going to be the local ecosystem builder. And now you're having to put one foot in each one of those. And yeah, I mean, heck, even I'm curious what's that like? And are you more effective in one place or the other? And like, this is no employment review. Don't worry at all about
that. Because I'm like, oh, that's what we're doing live on camera.
I think everybody knows how transparent I am in this world.
It's not a sitcom, Richard.
I didn't do that one. That wasn't me.
Austin. I'm never going to be a better. Okay, so anyways,
it's my favorite one. It keeps going.
Go home. Okay, it's complicated because so when I started my internship back in May of 2023, I was on the Clubhouse side. That internship never ended. I ended up in October. We finally just kind of like kept me along. I was like, is there a day where this ends? I'm kind of chilling here. I like it. October is where we had a conversation, and that's when I went Make Startups. part-time, and then finished college. No, January of last year. So January of 2025, that's when I went full clubhouse ecosystem building.
That was
What did
amazing.
that one even mean? Truly.
Richard
That's
just like,
anyways, and then now, well, for the past since January, kind of both. I don't know. It's complicated in the way that, oh my God, this isn't therapy, but it's
everything
complicated
is
in
therapy.
the way that you feel like you can't necessarily like be great trying to manage both. You're just kind of trying to stay alive and get everything done and make sure everything continues on. So it's difficult, and time management's a B.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think of it for myself is that it helps having the architecture background before. So I just look at everything as a project. And so I'm going to deep dive into this project for a while. And then I'm going to deep dive into this other project for a while. And while I'm in this one project, there's still a couple things that I manage over there, but that's how I deal with it.
Yeah.
What
Like,
was that, Richard?
I have my consistent things I need to do.
That was me
But
trying
in
to turn
that,
the lights back on.
Yeah. Trying not to neglect the other things I need to do, but then a new project comes along and those things get neglected. It's a vicious
Yeah.
cycle.
Well, you never know, because like all of a sudden, and I think this is the nature of the work for all of us, this opportunity will come up and you just kind of have to say like, okay, we're going to throw everything at this because this could be the game changer in what we're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lexi, what do you need to feel more supported in your work and more effective in your work? Because as ecosystem builders, we're all stretched thin and in a million different directions. What do you
It's like an
need?
internal conversation.
Going off air.
She's like, Eric, give me a raise.
You seen the cost of living?
I have. I'm living in
this
it too.
economy.
I don't know. I think my thing personally is I want to get back into the make startup space, the national scale things we've been talking about, the marketing and comm side of it. I do like working with the founders for bit. I wish I could take the sound effects away from you. Working with the founders
Sorry,
for
I'm done.
Aiken. But like on the day-to-day, I would say, I don't know, make startups and the potential to scale and all of the work that we do with that is definitely probably my favorite side.
Big startups and potential scale. Yeah.
I say definitely probably. It is my favorite side. I don't know why I said it like that.
It's my favorite side until we start running another cohort of entrepreneurs. And as soon as I'm dealing day to day with them, I'm like, oh yeah, this is why I do it.
Yeah.
And I love it. I really just love it.
Yeah.
Where do cohorts of entrepreneurs sit within your like things? What organization specifically does that like live under?
So everything that we do aside from membership in like ours, so we have membership in our space and in our community, which is called the Clubhouse. And anytime we're running a class, that's Make Startups. Anytime we're doing research, that's Make Startups. Even, you know, our impact fund that we run, like that's in Make Startups. And so Make Startups is the parent company of everything. And it has too many like little minor sub brands around it. But ultimately, yeah, Make Startups runs research, runs credentialing, runs teaching, runs investments. And so, yeah.
See how cool that is? You see why that's the side I want to be on. Just saying.
What do you need, Eric, to be more supported?
A raise.
No, I need
You should talk to his boss.
I need a couple of more like really good operators for specific parts of what we do, because you know we do a lot of really, you know, technical reporting based things. And so the amount of time that I have to spend dealing with like workforce development reporting and education administration behind the scenes, I don't think anybody has any comprehension of what that looks like. I think as we're trying to grow, having somebody who can really step into the Augusta CSRA ecosystem and help us continue to grow and nurture that, because I do all of this because I think for this community to succeed in the way that I aspire for it, that we need to create a national center for the type of things that we do. And so I'm focused on the national part of it, and I need somebody to focus on the center. It's just more people, which means more resources to support those people. But ultimately, it's just resources, right? People are resources. Money is a resource, and having people like you that are interested in coming down even for a few days or a week makes a huge difference, because it gives us a little bit of fresh perspective on things. And we have a lot of interesting things in the work that I can't necessarily talk about yet, but I think as those things shake out, it's going to be really exciting, because I think that we're going to finally go from the sort of absolutely bootstrapped capacity into something that feels more like an institute. And I'm excited for that future of things. And I'm trying my best to just stay focused on the day-to-day journey to get there, because I think that there's a tendency to get too hyper fixated on that future state and mess it up.
Eric, what piece of this work do you love, right? And you end up having to do a lot of it, the vast majority of it. But what do you truly love that you want to do more of? And which pieces do you want to do less of?
What's funny is I sort of want to turn it to the person who watches me work every day and say, what do you think it is that drives me? Because I think sometimes we don't even know ourselves very well.
What do you think, Lexi?
As someone who sat next to you for 2 years until you got a swanky little office on the other side of the space, you don't like enterprise sales. You do not like it. You do not like it.
No, I don't.
Your face before different calls versus your face before onboarding and demo. It's very different. So I would say that and the reporting for workforce. Those are two things you do not enjoy. You like designing and you like building, and you like actually mentoring founders. I would say those are your favorite things.
Yeah. I think I really enjoy some of the policy and advocacy work around it.
Oh yeah.
And I'd say maybe the best way for me to explain it is the thing I take most pride in, maybe more so than what I love, and that's having some really, really difficult challenge and just having time to focus on how can I navigate what that looks like. And I think we're all just sort of in pursuit of that aha moment. And when you have it, then you're just like, oh yeah, that's it. And so
luckily for us in our company, you have a lot of aha moments and great ideas that work out. So
I just run a lot of pilots. And we lost our music.
Thank God. No. Why do you encourage?
And we're back.
You lulled me into a false sense of security. Honestly, relatable.
Whoa.
That's the worst one. That and the sitcom from earlier.
Actually, you can't hear the wow. It's weird.
No,
he's fine. Yeah,
no. I think just finding cool people and doing cool things with cool people is what it's all about.
That's my life, right? Like I'm just life's too short. Just like do cool things with cool people that you like. Everything else is secondary.
The king of a side quest.
What are your fun side quests, all of you? I think that's a question. Like a side quest that comes to mind that you have done that is kind of fun. Austin?
Related to ecosystem building or not?
No, just like life.
I would say I've gone deep down this rabbit hole in side quests that is like bougie coffee and coffee making and like how coffee is like processed and roasted and brewed, and yeah, it's a random thing, but I absolutely love it. I love experimenting with like different beans from different regions, how they're blended together, co-fermentation. Now I'm just saying words that nobody knows. But
I do.
Like
Yeah.
coffee is definitely one of those like, and it's not totally a side quest, but I feel like for your average person, it might be.
I learned that these two are coffee nerds, so all three of you need to teach me how to coffee, please.
I'm
Sounds
going
good.
to give you guys something in our studio chat.
Oh God.
What about you, Eric? What is your side
My
quest?
side quest?
Hmm.
I have a lot of side quests. So one that I just finished, I took the entire month of July off to paint my house, and I was happy, like really, really happy, spending every day out just painting my house. It took me sort of back to architecture school and stuff like that when I could really spend the time to care for a building, and I missed that. And that's sort of like my big picture side quest is my goal is in or around 2030 to leave ecosystem building in the day-to-day capacity and open up a surf retreat for ecosystem builders so that you all have a place to get away from this. And I want a little design studio and a place to surf and do yoga or whatever and just talk about life.
You know, I want to do retreats. I love retreats. Let's do retreats. And I want to, like, this fall, invite everyone to just come hang out in upstate New York. Let's just, like, do it, build in the new place. So everyone come hang out. But I can't swim yet. So I think that's a prerequisite to surfing. So we'll have to get there by 2030.
You can't swim.
Don't make that face at me. Lexi, what's your side quest?
Anyways, I just go to a lot of concerts. I
What's your
pick
favorite?
small indie bands or small rock bands, and
Yeah.
my fiance and I just collect them.
Give
How
me
we
some
met,
examples.
actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dexter and the Moon Rocks.
Huh.
10 out of 10. They've recently blown up on TikTok, though. Their one song went like mega viral. So tickets are harder to get now. But don't worry, I got them for Nashville in 2 weeks. Nobody
I feel
knew.
that.
It reminds me, so I was facilitating the startup weekend in Rapid City, South Dakota, which is fairly close to Mount Rushmore. I landed, got there, I think a day early just because it's out in the middle of nowhere. And so they showed me around their commute. The day I got in, though, they're like, hey, there's this band playing in this co-working space that we have. Like they were, coming from one city. We basically stopped them on their way and just like, hey, do you want to play for us? So they play in this co-working space. And, I go and I'm like, I really enjoy this band. And I've been following them since then. I've seen them in actual concerts multiple times. It's just like this random band that you never would have. For me, I never would have like, oh, I don't know this band. I'm going to go to a co-working space and hear a band. It just happened to be that. And then now since then, multiple concerts, lots of merch, and really enjoy it. So I think that's super fun. Let's see that you're
It's the
What band is
best.
Supporting. You never know. Yeah.
Yeah,
I have a question for you all. I'm sorry, like I was totally throwing this out of left field, and I hate to interrupt, but do you think it dilutes what ecosystem building means if I just moving forward tell every person that is in our company your title is ecosystem builder, regardless of what you're doing, because we're all building ecosystem?
No.
I don't think it dilutes. I just think you lose clarity.
You do lose clarity, right? There is title versus there is function. And so maybe if you're clear on both, you're fine.
I mean, if it's the second line under the type, because at the end of the day, like in our company, that's what we're doing. However, we do it in different ways. Like we're all contributing to one goal.
Maybe
But-
each one just needs like a modifier of, like place-based ecosystem builder, digital ecosystem builder, who knows what.
I don't
Who
know.
knows what? Interesting. I like it though. And I like doubling, tripling, quadrupling the number of ecosystem builder job titles, roles in the world. Eric, if there is one that I know of.
There's got to be more people with the title of ecosystem builder. There's got to be a lot more.
Who, where, when, how? Like I see.
I don't know if it's
people
like
who-
official, because I
Yeah.
think Richard's meaning in like a literal, like official in my email signature capacity.
people are like, whatever, director of community or managing whatever, right? Like,
Yeah. I pitched it
That's
locally and
Yeah.
got back, well, how about director of community engagement? I'm like, it's not the same.
and this is why, right? It
This
does
is
not
why
build the
you
field.
be a pirate.
I know. I like it. When you are a pirate with a ship and resources, you get to do what you want.
Tyler, what's up with Tyler?
You know, e-ship advocate, e-ship developer, e-ship facilitator, e-ship builder. Also, Tyler says there's no waves in Augusta, so can't do that here. Eric.
I know.
Surf shop.
That's why
I
Eric
know.
goes on surfing side quests.
Where are you going?
My last
To
was
open
New
your shop.
Zealand.
New
Oh,
Zealand.
wow. I kind of just expected you to say like, oh, like California or
Yeah.
OBX. I don't know. New Zealand. Wow.
Hmm.
Where's your favorite
Fun.
place
Eric's
you've
going to
served?
do something, he's going to do it to the fullest.
Yeah. Well,
That
I
is
mean, the
one
great thing
thing
about
about Eric.
if you
He
surf in
doesn't
New
half-ass, he
Zealand,
full asses.
if you surf in New Zealand, you also get to like go visit all the Lord of the Rings sites, which is my other side quest. So
That's cool.
Nerd.
Whoa.
yeah.
All right. Richard, you ready to play our game and we can wrap up after that?
Yeah, can I share my side quest though?
Sure.
Please.
Oh, sorry.
If you
Please.
must.
Because this one is fun. I have many, so many, so many, of which I don't. We will list in a future episode. But I have a visual, and it will come on screen. If someone does the magic sound, it will come on screen. All right, find me in this picture.
Oh, I know
Oh.
this one.
Aren't you? Oh, I think I remember you sent me this on Snapchat. Aren't you the Pac-Man adjacent thing? I don't remember which one you
I
are.
appreciate that description.
Pac-Man adjacent.
Adjacent.
That's my title now. Pac-Man adjacent thing.
Perfect.
Austin, you will update that.
I'm just realizing how old my eyes are because I'm like, are there faces on that?
There are faces on that, but you will not find my face because in a very specific side quest esque actual side quest, I am the mascot in this picture. I am the arcade cabinet inside that suit. That is Blip. Blip the arcade cabinet, made specifically for this year's PAX shows, East, West, and Unplugged. And in this one specifically, I am Blip. Through a series of unfortunate slash fortunate slash fun events. Yes, very fun.
I got it right.
You got it right. I'm Pac-Man adjacent thing.
Yeah.
Pac-Man adjacent thing.
My memory isn't totally screwed, just mostly.
All All right, we're
Richard,
ready.
you send me a lot of stuff from your side quests. Okay, I can't keep track of everything.
That's true. That is so true.
All right.
Lucky for you.
Let's play. Closest to the win, never passed it. That's the ecosystem open. That's what this is called. Sorry.
Let's go.
So we're gonna tee off. We got this set up. All right. How many failed prototypes did James Dyson build before his vacuum finally worked? So we're basically just going to guess a number, Price is Right style. If you wanna, can't go over, but the closest to the number will win. So I've heard the story of 1,000, so I'm gonna go with that. Richard,
wow.
you're next.
1,000 is high. In my opinion, I was gonna say 300, but then I thought that was high, but I was gonna down revise to 100. So let's go 300
All
and
right.
1.
Okay, Lexi.
I'm gonna go 701.
Okay, Eric.
One.
$1, Bob.
He's going from 1 to 300.
All right.
Wow.
Hey.
I stand behind my strategy.
Number 5,127 worked over 15 years, multiple manufacturers. All right, next up. How many learning objectives does the Make Startups credential verify?
32.
Okay, Lexi.
Why don't I know this?
Oh no.
I need to leave, actually. Oh, it's past my time. Eric? Somebody who's not me?
I can't
Nope,
answer.
Lexi, you gotta go. You gotta go, Lexi.
Come on.
Well, because I'm just gonna say 15 and leave.
Okay.
I genuinely
Eric, I'm
don't.
gonna guess just because you're so close to it. I'm gonna go with. No, I'm gonna go 10. Eric, go ahead.
Just to keep the mystery in play, I'll say 33.
Oh.
Right.
Wow.
75.
75.
Yes. We track a lot. We measure a lot.
Approved by
Measure a lot.
industry leaders. Merit-based underwriting model. Wow.
Wow. 75.
All right.
I think I broke my brain for a second.
I think I know the answer to this.
How many employees did Instagram have the day Facebook bought it for $1 billion? Lexi, you're up.
34.
Eric, up.
Who's next?
I'm gonna go low. I'm gonna say 12.
Okay, Eric,
8.
8. The day that they bought it for $1 billion. I'm gonna go with Lexi's 34. Richard?
I'm gonna go 13 because I actually think it's
Ooh.
15. But before you post it, before you do that, I think Tyler is playing with us in the chat there. So can we get Tyler's comments on screen here?
Let's see what Tyler says here.
42, I think.
Oh, 42.
Well, that's the answer
Okay.
to everything, right?
Yeah, Tyler says 42. Let's go.
All right.
Oh,
Hey.
I really could have sworn it was
Nailed it.
12. Or sorry, 8. I was certain that I was right on that.
Over par
I despise you, Richard.
on the pin. I know. I love you too.
All right. And because Richard got round 3, he got 400 points, leaving us at Richard in the lead.
Yes. Ooh. I would do another round.
Got time for another round? All right. Tyler, you're here in the chat. We're gonna add you to the board. Thank you.
All right,
and
Tyler.
then we'll do 5 rounds on this one because for some reason I thought it was gonna be like questions was one round, like multiple questions was round 2 instead of 5. So,
Sure.
all right. Next up, what is the population of the Augusta metro area? Eric, I think you've not answered first, so you're up first.
I'm gonna go with 610,000.
Okay. Tyler, let us know in the chat what your guess is. I feel like our latency on the show is pretty low.
StreamYard's pretty good. We are.
Yeah.
There it
Ooh,
is.
Oh, Tyler coming in. All right.
Ooh, got him.
I'm gonna come in at around 450.
Yeah.
Richard?
Point of clarification: Augusta metro area. Are you actually saying CSRA?
Augusta metro area.
Okay, fine. It's less than- it's not the whole region. It is the Augusta metro area.
Augusta metro area.
Fine. I am gonna come in. Actually, this is very interesting. I'm coming in at in between Austin and Eric with a 500,378.
Okay. Lexi?
I'm literally like scraping my brain right now because I've seen this recently when I was doing market research for something else. Well,
Can I
if I
actually-
say this one, I'll be safe. So I'm going to say 630.
People or
630,000.
So I want
you-
to say what I actually think it is, and we'll see if I'm right. Because I was trying to hedge because I didn't want to go over.
You're trying to hedge. I want
I
to
mean, I'll
change
keep
mine
my
now.
answer where it was.
I was between 630 and 640.
You think so? You know so? I don't know.
Vaguely. I don't know.
So-
Can we find out the damage?
Yeah. Eric,
Right,
what do you
y'all
think
ready?
it actually is?
I
Eric?
think it might be 611, but I don't know what year census you're looking at on it. That's the thing.
I suspect that I might actually be between 1 and 450,000. I would.
More than that.
I sort
You
of
think so?
obsessively track census data, so it's like
You're probably right. Yeah. Go ahead.
it just depends on what year and what it's counting.
Ooh.
Hey, there
Eric.
he is. Tyler got it with the 61001.
Tyler.
Oh man.
So this is why I
Routine is
tell
cool.
you, like Richard, I measure things.
I know.
Well done. Well done.
But-
this
So this is
is on
CSRA
2024.
2024, but this is CSRA, not Augusta metro area, unless they are synonymous.
Well, the
They're kind of used
census
interchangeably.
defined metropolitan statistical area includes 2 states and I believe 7 counties.
Interesting, because at the start of the show, we pulled up CSRA on Wikipedia, and it included, I think, 13 counties, and the number was just a tad above 750,000. Sniped it, yeah. And so I'm curious where, what. Interesting. How these definitions are defined.
Yeah.
All right, going on. Moving
I
on.
guess I owe you a beer, Tyler.
All
We
right.
did this one
How
already.
many?
Didn't we just do this?
Skip this whole great.
I'm going to say 75.
All right. What was Theranos worth at its peak valuation?
Oh,
All right. I'm gonna go with 8 billion, and I'm gonna do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There you go.
oh wow. Going 8
Well,
billion.
I guess. Wait, was it Tyler's shot to go first? Sorry, Tyler. Now you know what I'm gonna put.
Austin
Tyler,
can
let
change
us
it.
know. I know. I cut it. So
6.8 bees.
billion. All right. There we go. Richard.
Oh boy. Let's see. I don't know. I want to. 8 feels right, but I feel like it's less than that. It might be like 7 and change. I'm talking out of my bottom right now. I have no idea. So we will go 7-2.
All right. Lexi.
I'll go in between Tyler and Richard. I'll just go 7.
You can snipe Tyler. He did that. That's fair game. Fair play. Excuse 681.
I'll go with 1.5 billion.
You could just go with 1, Eric.
I could,
Same
but
result.
I think it'd be more funny if I lost because it was
1-4.
yeah.
Yeah. All right. Let's do it. All's fair. Tyler says.
Oh
Wow.
let's
nine.
go. Almost.
All right.
wow.
Fair.
Sweet. All right. Next up, how many businesses has Eric Parker guided through the clubhouse and makestartups.org?
Does Eric
Depends
Parker
on where
know?
it's pulling the data point from.
All right. I'm gonna go 234.
Oh no, I think more. I'm going 379.
All the millennials are singing.
I'm
now,
sorry, what
thinking,
metric
"Sure."
are we going off of? Because
Yeah, legitimately, it'll depend on which page it's pulling it from because they don't
Yeah.
match.
That's my
Today's a
question, because-
surprise. That's the fun.
last I remember from an impact report or something that I wrote, it was over 2,000.
Well, I got 3
I'm gonna say
slots here.
2000.
So.
So she's going 999.
Yeah.
Oh, well, since you have 3 slots, I think I know the answer.
You want to do
Just go
2,000?
I'll go with
Okay.
500.
What do you think, Tyler?
Tyler. Hold on, that's a little loud. There we go. Still got Tyler in the chat. What are you thinking, bud? All of them. 625.
Like, I was
All right.
Roll 500.
Which stat is this from?
That was a couple years old, actually. That was
In his Augusta Summit speaker bio. That's hilarious. I mean, it's truth. That's it's on the internet, so that's how you know it's real.
that is how it works.
Wait. Oh, whatever.
All right.
Oh,
Who's going first on this one? Is it Richard or Lexi?
did I go first last time? I don't know. I think you went first, so it's my turn.
Okay.
Right?
Yep.
Oh man, Google's founders offered to sell the whole company to the portal Excite. I don't even know what Excite is.
Eric, do you know what Excite is?
I do.
That's before I
you
was born.
You might have known it by Excite at Home.
I don't have an Excite at home
What year were you born?
type of situation. What?
I was born in 2000.
Yeah. You have an excuse.
Thank you.
Richard, you were what, like 3 when this happened?
I was like 3. when
The
this happened.
Excite at Home headquarters were across the street from my house when I lived in Redwood City, California.
Well, sure. There you go.
There you go.
Well, Tyler put in his number. I would all right. Final asking price, huh? 250. I do know Netflix wanted to sell to Blockbuster for like 50 million. I think that was the number.
I'm gonna go
Alexa.
300 because I quite literally have no idea.
Eric?
350.
Tyler's got 125. I'm gonna go.
A little low, all these numbers.
I know. I'd say
And the way it's being asked, it
450.
feels like
50.
Well, it shows you how many digits we have to work with. So
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Right.
We're all on the low side of the six figures.
I'm still recovering from the last question.
750, Austin.
Nice. All right. To the clubhouse.
Austin.
Came out on top of
look at
that
that.
one.
I did better.
You go, girl.
Thanks, y'all. Well, thank you all for playing. Really appreciate you entertaining us. Tyler, thanks for joining us there in the chat. Richard, you want to bring us home?
Take it off. Take it off.
I want to make a gesture that I am not allowed to on here.
All right. All right. We're having too much fun. Lexi, Eric, thank you for coming on, hanging out. Good time. I'm really enjoying my time in Augusta and Georgia. And it's great hanging out with you guys. We'll have to do it again soon. But everyone watching at home, thanks so much for popping on and hanging out with us. Tyler, you're welcome. Thanks for being here. Coming out with us weekly, Fridays, 3 p.m.-ish Eastern for our show. Do the things you're supposed to do, like subscribe on YouTube and follow on LinkedIn. I think those are the words. See you next time.
And next week, you want to give them a preview of who we're going to have?
No, I have no idea.
J-Dog?
J-Dog. Yeah, Jason's coming on. Jason Schneider's coming on next week.
All the way from
From
Oregon.
Southern Oregon. What are we
Ask
talking
him about surfing.
Ooh,
All right.
that'll be
Well,
fun. Surfing
There are
next
more
week.
of us.
We'll see you all. See
Hey,
you
thanks for having
pirates on another show. Thanks for joining us.
Arg.
Thanks.
This was a great pilot.
Yeah, waves.
Can I go home now? Can I go sleep?